In this video, we will be covering 3 hidden altcoin gems launching on the Beam network. Will these projects 10x, 50x, or 100x? Stay tuned to the end to get our list of hidden altcoin gems on the Beam network. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Verse Crypto channel. My name's Chaos Chris and I'll be your host today. Before we hop this video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date with the latest, greatest news and information within this space. With that being said, let's hop right in this video. Today, we have another awesome video diving into the Beam network. Also, towards the end of this video, we're going to be covering 3 hidden altcoin gems that not many people are talking about. So, to start off, what is Beam? And so we come over here. You guys can come over to onbeam.com. It has everything with the docs, the Beam Bridge, the Beam Hub, the Spear Market, and Beam Swap. Now, let's just dive into the description of what Beam is. So, built by a global community, the Merit Circle DAO is an ever-evolving digital ecosystem focused on the future of gaming. With a strong foundation in the Web3 space, the DAO is committed to integrating endless possibilities blockchain technology with the most promising games to create the next generation of immersive gaming experiences. So Beam is a sidechain on Avalanche, and essentially it plugs into the subnet. If you guys have been following Avalanche, they have these things called subnets, and these subnets serve as the Ethereum Layer 2 scaling solutions version on the Avalanche blockchain. Now, what Merit Circle did was they got into the gaming industry and they chose this as their main niche. And within this main niche, they decided to launch a gaming blockchain for gaming studios, developers, and anyone who wants to build on top of it, but also wants to utilize a gaming specific sidechain. And so when you guys go on and you look at more projects, a lot of the bigger projects now are actually creating sidechains that either plug into Ethereum, Avalanche, and some of the biggest L1s. Now, the Merit Circle DAO has created Beam, an ecosystem where gamers and developers come together to shape the future of the gaming industry. One of its components is the Beam SDK. So SDK, it's a famous, it's a big word for essentially a programming language where developers can use it to build games. It has, it makes it easier for gaming studios to build certain types of games that they want on that said blockchain, and it essentially allows them to roll out games much quicker. And so with a lot of these different blockchains, they have different niches, and based on what the blockchain is designed for, their programming language is going to be tailored for certain people. So for example, like Ethereum is great for DeFi. Beam's going to be great for games. Immutable X, which is another gaming blockchain, is going to be great for games. If you get into the Cosmos and Polkadot ecosystem, their SDK gets a lot into interoperability and cross-chain communication. So it varies for every single ecosystem. And so what Merit Circle did was they created the Beam SDK specifically designed for gamers. And so to sum it off, which is flexible software development kit that enables game developers to choose between a variety of tools that can be used to fuel and structure their in-game blockchain elements. Now, the reason why I really like Beam is not only because it's designed for gamers, but also they're building a really great community and they're having a lot of communication between a lot of these blockchains and developers, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Now, the next thing that I also really like about Beam is their partnerships. So if we come over here and we take a look at Merit DAO's partnerships, they have Immutable X, they have Framework Ventures, they have Pantera Capital, and they also have Polygon. And so these are some really big names, and essentially what they're doing is they're partnering up with Beam so that they can build sustainable gaming infrastructure and use this as a way to onboard the next generation into cryptocurrency. Because in my opinion, games are extremely popular and a lot more people will get excited about anything DeFi or blockchain if there's some sort of gaming experience that's really friendly to users, easy to use, easy to understand, and across the board, a big win for everybody. Now, on top of that, another thing that I really like about the gaming experience on top of Beam is the community and the amount of games that are being launched on top of it, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you come over here to beamhub.com, you can go through and just search every single game. I'm not going to highlight every single one, but there's over 200 games that have already committed to launch on top of Beam. And so probably over the course of the next year and towards the end of this bull market, you're going to see a whole bunch of games just constantly rapid fire launching on top of Beam. And so they're going to have games that are similar to like World of Warcraft, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, just any type of video game that you played as a kid, they're probably going to have it on Beam. And what's really great about the Beam ecosystem is a lot of the developers, they communicate with each other. They talk about different approaches to gaming launches, and ultimately it's like a big family. And so that's why it makes me extremely bullish about Beam in general, is because not only is there so many games launching on top of it, but you got gaming developers interacting with each other, talking to each other, partnering up, and also creating a really great experience in whole for the entire ecosystem. So that's definitely a big plus when it comes to anything Beam. Now, just getting into some charts and just looking at the total market cap. When Beam started off, let's take a look at market cap. Bring this over. So when Beam's first launched and they had a token migration, the market cap was sitting at about $304 million. And now we're sitting at about $1.81 billion at the time of this recording for the top of the market cap. Now, $1.8 billion is a lot of money. But also, please keep in mind when it comes to this infrastructure, these infrastructure plays can get up to extremely high evaluations. We saw Immutable X get up to a high evaluation last market. We saw this with Vulcan Forge. Now, the best way to gauge how high the market cap of Beam could reach, we can come over here to helpllama.com, and I'll talk about how much the gaming industry is worth in total. And based off of that, we can engage how high the Beam market cap can go using some moon math. Because, hey, man, it's cryptocurrency. I love moon math. You guys probably do too. Now, last year in 2023, the gaming industry revenue was sitting at about $365 billion. And so based off of this, we got to think, how much of the gaming industry share do you think Beam can capture? And so realistically, you want to shoot between 1 to 10%, 1% at the low end, 10% at the high end. I don't think a project like Beam is going to capture 50% of the gaming experience, because there's always going to be competitors. So based off of that, looking at the market cap of Beam, that will probably put you at somewhere between 10 to 36 billion. And so based on where Beam's sitting at right now, I think it's completely realistic that Beam can get up to 36 billion. And also, please keep in mind, this is cryptocurrency, so these evaluations can go absolutely crazy. So I think on the high end, Beam could possibly reach $100 billion evaluation, which is probably sitting at about a 50x from here. So I would probably put it right around a 20 to 50x when we get to the top of the bull market on Beam. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, Chris, I get it, 20 to 50x doesn't really seem fruitful, because, you know, in crypto, we're always looking for those 100x's. I like 100x's. You probably do too. Now, a great strategy that you can do is, if you're bullish on Beam, you don't necessarily have to dive into the Beam token, not financial advice. You can also look at some of these gaming studios, games, and even meme coins, and use that as a leverage play if you're bullish on the Beam ecosystem, and aim for a project with a smaller market cap, because a project going from $1 million to $1 billion is going to have a higher upside than from Beam going from $1.7 billion to a $37 billion market cap evaluation. So that's the best way to gauge it. Now, this video is going to be special because I got 3 hidden altcoin gems that are actually launched now on the Beam network, and we're going to rapid fire through every single one of these. I'm going to tell you guys the best features and what I like about them, and we're just going to jump right into it. So for this first game, this is a project that's actually building games on top of Beam. It's actually one of the first studios to launch on top of Beam, and they're coming out with a very popular trading card, and the name of that project is Rainy Studios. And so for those guys who don't know what Rainy Studios is, you can come over here to rainy.io. And Rainy Studios is the first gaming studio to launch on top of Beam. And one of their first games that's going to come out is going to be this NFT card playing game that's very, very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! And if I scroll down here, we can take a look at it. And basically what they're going to do with this trading card game is they're taking NFTs and putting it into a game, so you can actually go and buy an NFT, put into a game and play against your friends or anyone online. And you can also win awesome prizes, and there's going to be tournaments as well. So in my opinion, when you look at a game like this is like revival of the Yu-Gi-Oh, but on the blockchain, which is pretty awesome. Now, on top of Rainy Studios launching this new game, one thing that I really like is they have a layer 0 token, which means that with this token, you can transfer it from cross-chain to other blockchains. And in my opinion, going on to the future, these layer 0 tokens are probably going to be industry standard for a lot of these projects. So right now, Rainy Studios is actually ahead of the curve. On top of that, they're backed by Ava Labs, Avalanche, Merit Circle, and some awesome partners. So overall, I really do like Rainy Studios. The total token cap is sitting at about 1 billion tokens. And the main reason why I think Rainy Studios is going to be a really great play is, number one, it's one of the first gaming studios to be on Beam. And number two, they're going to continue to launch games on top of Beam until they find a game that does really well. So while they're working on this new trading card game, there's a good chance they have 4 or 5 other games still in development. So there's a good chance that we will see multiple games coming out of Rainy Studios. And in my opinion, the next best bet after gaming infrastructure is going to be the gaming studio. Now, if we come over here to Rainy Studios, and just check out the market cap. Right now, there isn't a market cap reported because they did a little bit of an integration. But over here on Deck Screener, it's saying that the market cap is at right around 88 million. And in my opinion, with a gaming studio like this, if you look at projects like Vulcan Forge and other projects that launched in the last bull market, these gaming studios evaluations could approach the $1 billion market cap. So there is a lot of upside with Rainy Studios. And also on top of that, Rainy Studios is basically a big fish in a small pond. They're one of the only gaming studios out there. So in my opinion, I do firmly believe that Rainy Studios is going to be a sleeper. Now, getting into this next hidden altcoin gem. You guys probably know I like meme coins. We see meme coins all over the blockchain. And this bull market, believe it or not, when we get to the top 50 coins, there's a good chance that of those top 50, 10 to 15 of those coins will be meme coins. And so based on my other blockchain research, meme coins are going to be extremely dominant, especially in this bull market. Now, this meme coin recently launched on the Beam network, and it is the first meme coin on Beam, and it has absolutely been killing it. And the name of this meme coin is BeamCat. And for those guys who don't know what BeamCat is, it's the first meme coin built on top of the Beam network. It basically has Beam in the first name, the first part component of the name, referencing the Beam infrastructure. And so if we come over here to Twitter, right now there's about 1,789 followers. So the community behind BeamCat is extremely small. And we come over to beamcat.xyz. This is the main website with BeamCat. Looks like a typical meme website. There's about 420 trillion tokens supplied. There's no taxes, and it's just a simple meme coin. Fair launch, whole 9 yards, no VC funding. Just your typical meme coin that we saw with Pepe, Shiba Inu, and some of the popular ones that you've seen. Now, if I come over here to BeamCat on Deck Screener, we have a market cap sitting at about $4.4 million. And since its launch, let's see if I can scroll out a little bit. Ooh. So come here, bada boom. So since the launch of this token, it's already done a 14x. Now, in my opinion, based on Beam's market cap slowly, steadily going up, there's a very well good chance that this could get anywhere up into 37 billion to the $100 billion market cap range. And when that happens, a lot of people are going to be looking on the Beam network, and meme coins typically pop really fast. And so from what we've seen from historic meme coins, a $4.4 million market cap is nothing. This type of market cap could typically run up to 10% of the total market cap of the L1 or L2, and then in this case is going to be Beam. So if Beam were to hit a $37 billion market cap evaluation, BeamCat could get as high as $3 billion. If Beam hit a $100 billion market cap top, Beamcat could get as high as 10 billion. Do I think it's going to go to $3 or $10 billion? No. But if you guys go back and you look at what happened with Shiba Inu and all these other meme coins, it's definitely within the realm of possibility. So in my opinion, with Beamcat, if Beam were to gain a lot of traction from the new launches of these games, and if Beamcat can gain traction on Twitter, I firmly believe that this market cap could get up to anywhere between 100 million or even as high as $750 million. And that is why Beamcat is your second hidden altcoin gem on the Beam network. And for your third hidden altcoin gem, this is actually the first game to launch on the Beam network. And the name of that game is Goons Battletron. If you guys don't know what Goons Battletron is, it is a NFT trading game. They've also launched on top of Arbitron, and they decided to start migrating some of their tokens over to the Beam network. And so Goons of Battletron is run by a gaming studio, and they recently launched their token GOB ticker straight onto the Beam network. Now, if you guys come over here to goonsofbattletron.com, they have a really cool website. It gets into their NFT store, the GOB token, and also the game that you can actually play right here for free. Now, coming over here to Goons of Battletron, it's considered a risk-to-earn token. And so what a risk-to-earn token is, it's a play-to-earn model, often operates by having players acquire assets, play the game, and earn a token or other NFTs with no risk attached. The problem with this model is that there are only winners and no losers. This issue is compounded by the fact that there is often a constant influx of new supply entering the market out of the inflationary pools of assets that was never paid for. This results in never-ending supply pressure that dilutes the value of each token and creates a play-to-earn scenario where players with more assets have an advantage in the ecosystem. As a result, most play-to-earn tokens projects that launched during the last cycle have ceased to exist. Now, with the risk-to-earn alternative, the concept of risk is rooted in the economic principle that for a reward to exist, some risk must be involved. In the Web3 gaming industry, risk-to-earn offers an additional dimension, a more sustainable alternative to common play-to-earn models prevalent in many Web3 gaming projects. So essentially, what they're doing is they're changing the typical model with Goons of Battletron. And what they're trying to do is avoid that massive token dilution hitting the market. And so using this risk-to-earn model, they want to change it and add this component so that the token just doesn't completely collapse in the bear market. Now, their main token is the GOB token. The GOB token is used for purchasing assets in the world of Battletron. It's used for gaming purposes, and also it has voting power in the game in the GOP DAO. And then also on top of that, they have the Chunks token. And the Chunks token is going to be the utility token of the GOP ecosystem. There's a tax on it, and then also that tax feeds into a DAO fund. And using those DAO funds, the holders of the Chunks token can vote on how those tokens can be used. So overall, I really do like the Goons of Battletron token. One other thing I want to throw out there is a lot of the tokens have already been hit the market. So the amount of tokens that are actually locked up is very, very small, which we're going to get to in a minute. And also on top of that, they did a massive token burn on October 25th, 2023, where over 171 million tokens were burnt straight off the market. Now, if you come over here to Goons of Battletron, the market cap is sitting at about 2.9 million. And in my opinion, a game like this, since it's the first token to launch on top of Beam, these games can reach evaluations up to the hundreds of millions, even start to touch close to the $1 billion. And so in my opinion, because Goons of Battletron is one of the first games to launch on top of Beam, it's going to have a first mover advantage. More and more people are looking at the Beam ecosystem and has the potential to do absolutely well. So I could see this token getting anywhere between $100 million to $300 million valuation. So guys, that's it for the video. Comment down below which one was your favorite Beam hidden altcoin gem, and also let me know if I missed one. Leave it down in the comments down below. And before I wrap this video up, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so I keep you guys up to date. My name's Chaos Chris. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.